Danielle Colby is a passionate individual who has achieved incredible success in burlesque art and antique treasures while coming from a typical small-town background. Her narrative, which combines career success with personal development, has won her admirers who respect her abilities and honesty. Perhaps the most well-known aspect of Danielle Colby's career as a versatile American reality TV personality, burlesque dancer, and antique aficionado is her appearance on the renowned History Channel program American Pickers. Danielle Colby was born in Davenport, Iowa, on December 3, 1975. Her early years and complicated personality were greatly influenced by her upbringing in a committed religious home. She needed to follow customs and felt disciplined and a part of the community because of her religious beliefs. However, an internal struggle between the values of her religious upbringing and her yearning for independence and self-expression started to surface as Colby got older and realized the limitations of this traditional way of life. As she looked for a life that seemed genuine to who she really was, this struggle would eventually come to influence many of her decisions. Colby's love of dance, fashion, and art forms that enabled her to express aspects of herself that would not have been consistent with her family's religious beliefs, was a clear indication of her creative side from a young age. For Colby, dance in particular became a focus point since it provided her with an expressive and creative outlet that she found to be quite freeing. She soon entered the realm of burlesque, which would later become her career and passion. As a result of her love in dancing, Colby was able to embrace her body and identity, which had long been repressed by traditional social norms, because of burlesque, which blends humor, dance, and theater. Through this artistic genre, she explored and embraced the idea of female empowerment, which would later come to define her career. Colby's path wasn't without difficulties, though. She married young and had 2 kids, as was typical in her society. However, a number of problems in her marriage led to its split. Colby had to be inventive and tenacious throughout this time in her life because of the financial difficulties and the duties of being a single mother. Although her divorce was certainly challenging, it also encouraged her to embrace her independence and work harder at her creative goals. Danielle Colby met Margaret Cho, a well-known comedian and burlesque performer, around this time, and she was much influenced by her performance. Cho's free-spirited approach and confident demeanor towards burlesque struck a chord with Colby, who viewed it as a means of expressing her individuality and reinventing herself. Inspired, she embarked on her own burlesque adventure and put in a lot of training before launching Burlesque La Moustache. Her Davenport-based ensemble immediately became well known in the community for their captivating and thought-provoking performances. Colby was able to question conventional ideas of femininity and sexuality with Burlesque La Moustache, and her performances became emblematic of self-assurance, acceptance of oneself, and artistic independence. However, her varied career encompassed more than just her love of burlesque. Colby's early fascination in antiques and old goods stemmed from her upbringing in the Midwest, where artifacts from American history were prevalent. She developed a fascination in items with distinctive histories as a result of growing up surrounded by antiques, historic farmhouses, and deserted barns. Colby became interested in memories and antiques, enjoying the excitement of discovering unique objects that retained a tiny bit of American past. She was a perfect fit for the antiquities industry because of her passion for antiques and her interest in history. Meeting fellow picker and longtime friend Mike Wolfe would have a significant impact on Danielle's life. Wolfe, a vintage aficionado and antiques expert, was submitting a show concept to the History Channel that would later become American Pickers, finding hidden gems across America, investigating the history of each object, and picking undiscovered riches would be the main goals of the program. Colby was selected to join the team after Wolfe acknowledged her special abilities, especially her knowledge of antiques and her gregarious nature. Since its 2010 debut, American Pickers has amassed a sizable fan base. Wolfe and co-host Frank Fritz seek for priceless antiques in barns, basements, and attics around the nation. Colby was crucial in organizing business transactions, cultivating client connections, and overseeing the show's commercial side in his roles as office manager and logistic coordinator. Even though Wolfe and Fritz were the main pickers on American Pickers, fans were immediately drawn to Colby's debut. She was a fan favorite because of her vibrant personality, alternative style, which included vibrant tattoos and retro-inspired clothing, and her in-depth understanding of antique goods. She achieved a balance between the business side of things and Wolfe and Fritz's eccentric personalities by adding comedy, integrity, and enjoyment to the show. Colby was a great team player because of her ability to relate to individuals from a variety of backgrounds, and her dedication to the program grew with time. In addition to advancing her profession, American Pickers' popularity gave Colby the opportunity to pursue other hobbies. As her popularity grew, she started to promote themes that were important to her, such as women's empowerment, body acceptance, and the value of antiques in preserving history. In addition to her work on television, she kept up her burlesque performances, which became a symbol of her dedication to expressing herself and challenging conventional norms. Danielle Colby works in burlesque and television. She also has a vintage clothes company called 4 Miles to Memphis. Colby was able to merge her passion for fashion, vintage style, and creative design with the business, which specialized in unique apparel and accessories. Despite its brief existence, the business gave her another creative outlet and cemented her status as a taskmaker for the vintage scene. Colby's own taste for distinctive different objects was mirrored in her style, which she employed as a vehicle for self-expression. She used modern and old components to create an entirely own look. Beyond her work endeavors, Colby has been open about her personal hardships, such as the difficulties she faces juggling her family, career, and health. She has been candid about the mental difficulties she has faced, the physical toll of her burlesque profession, and her problems with chronic pain. These personal revelations have helped her gain fans by demonstrating her honesty and sensitivity. Colby has developed a fan base of individuals who respect her candor and courage as a result of sharing her stories. At a very early age, Danielle Colby wed her first husband, Kevin Colby, and the two of them had 2 kids, but their marriage was strained as a result of her growing celebrity on American Pickers and her dedication to the program. She eventually found it hard to combine her personal and professional lives due to the demands of her employment, which included frequent travel and a significant public presence. Colby later fell in love once more with French graphic designer and artist Alexandre de Meyer, who is renowned for his original and creative works. Chicago-based designer de Meyer has designed artwork, posters, and logos for a range of customers and companies. One example of this is his design for 4 Miles to Memphis, Colby's company. Through their mutual appreciation of design, creativity, and the arts, the pair was able to build a solid connection prior to their 2015 wedding. However, there were issues in this relationship as well, and the two finally split up. Colby has not spoken publicly about their breakup or the specifics of her connection with de Meyer. Since then, Colby has become attached to Jeremy Schuch, an artist who also shares her love of historical and antiques. Their same interests seem to be the source of the intimacy and fervor that underlie Colby and Schuch's relationship. Colby's professional interests in antiques and history frequently coincide with the couple's love of travel and historical sites. On social media, Colby periodically posts tidbits about their lives together, showcasing their uplifting and encouraging relationship. Due in major part to her work on the hit television program American Pickers, as well as her other business and artistic endeavors, Danielle Colby's estimated net worth $2 million. Colby has built a sizable online following in addition to her career in the industry by leveraging her notoriety and social media presence. On social media sites like Instagram and Patreon, she frequently discusses her opinions on vintage clothing, collectibles, and her own experiences in addition to promoting her artwork.